Let's welcome back to the show, Brian Johnson. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Cowhead, me son. Long time no speak. How you doing?
I know. How are you doing? How's semi-retired life treating you?
That's not too bad. I've been busier than ever, I think.
Yeah. The last time I saw you was in Lakewood Ranch, I think, and we had a conversation, and it was a real conversation that I was so fortunate to have with you. And you looked at me and you said, Cowhead, it kind of finally hit me where, this could be the last tour. This could be the last time we do this. And
yeah.
you could see you were kind of emotional about it. And I thought, man, but we all know it's not going to be. You're already out. You're racing. You're working. God knows you probably got songs. You guys will be back on the road before you know it.
Well, hopefully this year we can get back together again. It's, one of the boys is a little sick. I can't say anything, but he's getting better.
Bad sick, like terminal sick, or
no, but just bad. And so we're gonna, it's doing wonderful.
Good.
Full recovery, fully expected, and so we can, basically it's just because we're a bunch of buddies. I miss me buddies, is what it is, really.
Sure.
We usually. Because when we sit down to do an album, we usually talk for a week.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I think. I mean, I think they stay over there. You move around constantly, and I think that you guys aren't in each other's presence. But then when you are, that the magic probably just automatically happens again.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing when we get in a room. It's funny. I was talking about that the other day to somebody, and I said, whenever the boys get back together, I get all, I get excited because we sit there. And then the boys, after a while, pick the guitars up. Phil will make his way to the drums. Cliff will pull his bass out. And then all of a sudden, this noise comes out. And I sit there with just this big old grin on my face. I'm the first person to hear this. It's pretty cool.
You know what I'm really impressed with, or was impressed with, was the last tour. I know how you are, but I know that you were ready to go, and that we were waiting on Angus and Malcolm, and then I really thought that I was going to go out there and see a show where those guys just mailed it in, where they were just going to be playing their songs and getting the hell out of there. But, man, Angus was up there playing at his age like he had just started last year. I was so impressed with that last tour.
Thanks, man.
It was great. Now, listen. Now, Brian Johnson is racing. He has been racing for several years. In fact, the very first time that I ever met you, I was fortunate enough to go to your house, and you showed us a video of you racing where you smashed into a wall.
That's correct. That was a cracker, wasn't it?
And you said, and I quote, one of the greatest quotes I ever heard in my life. I said, "Were you scared?" And you said, "Scared. Me butthole was puckering like a rabbit's nose."
Yeah.
and I remember you saying that, and I remember, why would a man with your money still want to do this? Still get behind that race car and have your butthole pucker and risk running into walls?
It's just another challenge. I mean, I love doing it and all that, Cowhead. You know what I mean? It's great fun and all that. But the 24 hours a Daytona is one of the two biggest races in the world. There's the Le Mans 24 hours, and then there's the Daytona. And this is the 50th running, and me and a buddy Byron DeFours, he just said, he's from Chattanooga. He said, "Brian, would you like to ever think of running the 24 hours with me?" And I just said, "Well, shoot, yes, I would." and I just thought he was kidding. But, the guy came up, and then we went to see Carlos de Quesada. He's a Tampa boy,
right?
Who's got a beautiful place up there called Allegra Racing. We went to talk to the Predator Racing boys in Largo, and we said, "Guys, do you think you could ever make this work?" So the two, Predator and Allegra put their heads together, and they came up with this fantastic crew, mechanics, and a great car, and it's the prototype car, which is a fast one. And then they got Elliot Forbes Robinson, who's won the race 3 times. He's 67, Elliot.
Wow.
And then Jim Pace, who's won once. So we're not exactly spring chickens,
right?
And we realized we weren't going to get any sponsorship. Nobody's going to sponsor a bunch of old farts.
Come on. Go ahead.
What we did was we called the car Highway to Help. And all the money we get off the racing and everything, the donations, it goes to the Children's Pediatric, the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. the Austin Thatcher Foundation. So we thought, well, if we can do a bit of good and have a brilliant time doing it, that's the spirit of racing as far as I'm concerned. Because we're not going to win. I mean, we're going to try our hardest.
Wouldn't that be amazing? If you did, this would be, you realize they would make movies about this if you did end up winning.
You see, that's the great thing about a 24-hour race. It is possible.
Right.
And we're going to try hardest to nobody just goes out there to just finish. We want to try to win. We realize we've got all these guys like Montoya, Scott Pruitt, Alan McNish, all these fantastic dudes that are just naturally gifted,
and I don't wish anything bad on them, but you never know. There could be some sort of pile up, and But you realize that if you guys went there with the intention of having this highway to help car, you're getting there, you're getting to do something that you love with these guys that you have fun with and raise some money for charity, and by some reason you win this goddamn thing, they'll be talking about this for the next 100 years.
Yeah, well, actually, you could be right.
Yeah.
We're the little car that can, but they've prepared the car to win. They haven't prepared the car just to finish the guys at Allegra and the guys at Predator. They're just, I never realized how, when you hear these drivers talking about the crew and all of that.
How important it is.
How fortunate you are. And these guys are the best. So, I've got my fingers crossed there, Cowhead, me son.
When you are famous like you are, and then you're driving the car, a lot of times, like I play bass in our band, and I'm terrible, but people will lie and tell me that I'm good because I'm on the radio. So you must really be a good driver, though, for them to go through all this hassle and have you come in. I mean, you
can't just get in the car and run it, and drive it. You really do. There's been testing before. The last one about 4 weeks ago and the one about 6 weeks ago, and you have to get in the car and you have to go fast enough to be able to race in it. Otherwise, it's just a danger to everybody.
Yeah, because
it's a fast car, up the front. So
and Daytona's got the 38-degree banks on the side. I mean, you literally
that's fun.
That's insane. You're riding on top of somebody almost on the turn.
Yeah. I saw some wonderful things happen. I mean, really scary, especially at night when we were doing the night practice. And there was cars going off in all directions. I mean, there was just that was good. I thought 50 mafia gangsters were after me. They were all trying to kill us. But it was just fun to do. Once you got over the initial fear, because you can't see anything really out the front. You can just see through this little letterbox type thing out the front of the car.
Right.
And there's no rear view at all. That's why you have spotters telling you what's coming. And
you're just going. You have no choice but just to gun it and go forward.
Yeah, you just go as fast as you can, try to keep out of trouble. As you said before, if you did win, it's wonderful because it's 24 hours. It's a race of attrition, mechanical failures, people hitting each other. It's not their, not your fault. You could get hit and you could be out of the race, which is the worst scenario you can have,
Who goes, how does it run? Who goes in there first? Who starts things off? What happens?
I don't know. I think it could be probably a toss-up between Elliot Forbes Robinson and Jim Pace.
Right.
Those two guys have got a lot of experience, and of course, the first 15, 20 minutes in a race is just hellacious out there.
Right.
Everybody wants to get up front and start winning, and so I've just found out. And I'm going out the first time I get in the car. It's going to be black. It's going to be dark.
Dark, isn't it? It'll be nighttime, huh? And then make you. Would you rather do it the night or the day? Are you nervous about that?
No, nighttime doesn't worry me at all. I mean, you just got to get used to the depth perception, because all you see is a couple of little red lights when you're coming up on it, before you overtake them. You just got to be careful.
That's no drinking for you that day either. That's going to be a rough day.
Well, I've been told. I mean, we'll leave tomorrow, and the team boss has just said no drinking, and I said, come on, I got to get a couple of beers. No, not a thing. So
you don't have any kids, do you?
I got two girls. Yeah, they're in England. They took me two girls, and they're going to be watching it, and all me pals. And
well, let's just talk about this for a second. This is a sore subject because you're going into a big race, but you have two girls. You don't have any sons. You always call me son, so I feel like we have a relationship. Maybe you prepare some sort of if there's something goes wrong, Cowhead should get my AC/DC guitars or something. We should probably put that in writing before you head out there.
I'll put it in writing, me son. I'll definitely leave you something special, a memento.
Listen, you. I've said it a million times, whether you're on the air or not. You're not even one of the most nicest celebrities. You're just one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Well, thanks.
It's like you don't even. It's almost like you're unaware of your success. Is how nice you are.
Well, I am really. It still stuns us when I walk down the street and people say, "Hey, man, can I get a photograph?" And I go, "What?" And I feel quite embarrassed to be honest.
Yeah, and the best is, the best place to see you. We see you at a pub somewhere. We see you at a concert, and you're just one of the regular guys. And then and I hope people know that in addition to doing this Highway to Help, we worked with you for the John Entwistle Foundation. You were one of the first people. You and Robin Zander are our two ambassadors in the area, go-to guys for charities, and you're always saying yes.
Yeah, and by the way, I'd just like to send a biggie out to Tony Iommi at the minute. He's not well.
Really?
And
I know we talked about that earlier in the year that he wasn't really good.
It's a bugger.
Yeah, well, listen, I love having you on the air. You're a great guy to know. I'm so looking forward to this race. The Rolex is happening this weekend, 24 hours, and Brian Johnson in the Highway to Help car. I'm telling you, I'm gonna start writing the script now, because when you guys win this, we're gonna be ready to go. We're going to sell it right to HBO.
It might come true. You just don't know, mate.
And then I got there, and I thought, there is my chance. I'm going, and next thing, checkered flag. I'm telling you, this is going to be, we're going to get an Academy Award for this one day.
Oh, okay, son. Not right in there, Cowhead, my boy.
All right, listen, go and win the race. Have a great time, and we will talk to you when you get back.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Good talking to you, buddy.
Bye-bye, Matt.
Bye. There you go.
Bye-bye.
I'm his Met. That's all I got to say right there.
That's right.
What a great guy he is. He had left me 2 voicemails in the last, 48 hours or so, and each one of them, I'm almost embarrassed to hear them. You know how he says, people go up to him on the street and they say he's embarrassed to take a picture?
Right.
When he's so nice to me on the phone, I go, why is he calling me? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So good for him. There's a guy who is definitely living his life to the fullest and taking advantage of his celebrity by using it to help people. Highway to Help is his car, and the race is happening this week. It's the Rolex 24. There's Brian Johnson.